Everyone in
All
live.
right, we are live now. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Godox Facebook Live Talk. Today we are going to have a chat with Ashley K. That's about unlimited wedding images, right? Hopefully, she will share some thoughts of I think a typical. I've been working with Ashley and I love her work for so long because I think we have a common belief that wedding images multiple styles, right? And
Yes,
you serve a combination of different things rather than stick with let's say natural lights. I'm the natural lights guy,
yeah,
or I'm the flash guy. Let's naturalize from beginning to end, or let's flash from beginning to end. Rather than that, how about let's serve multiple dishes, right? There will be entree, there'll be main course, there'll be
yeah,
desserts. Depends on the client's taste, right? If they like something sweet, let's give them something spicy, like a bit more flash. If they want something on the natural lights, yeah, we can do natural light as well, right? But there's always a mix and combination. There's love, romance, and a bit let's say actions makes a movie more attractive. Does it make sense? So that's why I love um, Ashley's work, because her work is a fine mix of a bit everything, right?
oh, that's
You reckon?
nice. I was just
Without any
thinking,
further, yep,
I was just thinking to myself when you said about the romance and the comedy and stuff, and it's funny how, like, if you watch a movie as well, how
yeah,
different light can change the mood of like the scene as well. So that goes with your wedding
yeah,
photography. Flash and using lighting can really change the mood of the scene as well. So I think, why would you just be one when you can have everything?
yeah. And if you think about weddings, right? In a wedding, it's a whole day, right? It's a whole day. Um, in the church, you have to be as discreet as possible, right? You want to be a journalist, right?
Mhm.
In the beginning, depends on, you can sort of have, getting ready. You can have a sort of wiggle zone. Depends on what the bride wants, right? If she wants a quiet moment and she's crying with her mom, you say, "Look, freeze, let me flash you." It doesn't work that way. But
Right.
sometimes they do need some indication, because at the end of the day, make the bride the most beautiful woman of the day is our primary target, right? So it's a bit fashion, and you can use flash and, or even continuous lights on the location. Obviously, you need to give some, let's say, puts them in the right spots, let them express their emotions, right? Connect them with the right words. And it could be fashion, it could be natural light. And because I was shooting with you on your wedding, on the wedding day,
Yeah.
a couple of real weddings, I saw the way you work.
Mhm.
You're mastering both, or multiple styles, so which
Yeah.
is fantastic. And I do believe that is a trend for the future, because as it is easier than ever to learn from the photographers around the world, it is cheaper than ever to buy camera gears as well as lighting gears.
Yeah.
This market is going to be more and more competitive, and it's going to be for the people who's able to adapting the future,
Yeah.
right? And
That's exactly.
I don't think your work is the future, right? Unlimited. I think it's a nice title. It's really it's a nice words, because it's the future, unlimited, right? It
Yeah.
can be anything. It can be fashion, it can be journalist, can be love, can be emotion, but also it can be something cinematic, right?
Yeah.
Think about the movie. It can be Blade Runner, right? Also, it can be romantic. It
That's
can be
right.
anything you want.
There's no
Everybody,
rule.
that's yeah. There's no right or wrong answer, isn't it?
No.
Everybody just have to come up with their own recipes, right?
Yeah. That's
Or
right.
fried rice. Fried rice is probably a bad example. Did you watch Fried Rice? The guy who's Uncle Roger was pretty funny.
Oh, you're always
But
funny, Harry.
I do believe everybody should come up with their own way of cooking a steak, or pasta. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, let should we get started?
Yeah. Let's go. I'll share my
Cool.
screen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's already there.
So you're sharing my screen, or am I sharing it? right now.
It's on your
Yep.
screen. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So how's everyone going today? It looks like everyone's saying good morning. So I think some people are from somewhere where I'm not. And it's 12 p.m. Melbourne time here today. So, and it's finally a great day in Melbourne. Finally. So I put together some slides, which I hope everyone finds really interesting. And the reason why I titled it No Limits is because many years ago when I started photography, I always used to rock up to these locations and the lighting was never great, and it really limited me. And I just thought, how can I change my style where I can actually use these locations to my advantage, but when it's bad lighting, I can grab some lighting into the shot. So I started using flashes, and that's when I felt like my work started to have literally no more limits on it. I could do whatever I want, when I want, and how I wanted. And ideally, as a wedding photographer, we do like to shoot in natural light because it is easy. And we could not shoot 100% of the day with flashes and light sticks and stuff like that. So, but there are parts of the day where you really want to create something different in a location, but if the lighting isn't good, then you have these tools to be able to create these images. And that's when I started using flashes. And I feel like, yep, that was a big turning point on in my wedding photography career. So I'd like to take you through the slides, and I made this quote up. I don't know if this quote has been said before, but it's pretty simple. Photography has no limitations, only the ones that you make. And like I said, when you do get to a location and the lighting isn't great, well, then you can't shoot it, can you? But if you actually have the tools like a flash to help you create that image, then you don't have any limitations, and that's really important. But is there some background noise? No, I had some background. Okay, so why I love using flashes. I'll click on the next slide. Number one is to create more freedom and creative control. So I want to have that freedom to be able to create whatever I want when I want. And before using flashes, I didn't really have that creative control. And now that I'm using flashes, now I can go to a location and pull out my flash and create something. Number two, I feel like flash is really exciting. And correct me if I'm wrong, Aries, but whenever I take a shot with a flash, when I take the first shot, because you don't know what you're going to get straight away, do you? You're just sort of winging it. You're kind of like, I'm going to set up this shot. It's either going to work or it's not going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. And so whenever I set up a shot and I use the flash and it looks great, I get so excited, and I love being able to get excited by using flash. So using flash is definitely exciting to me. Yeah. Number three, I like to create impacting and epic photographs that stand out. So they're the three reasons why I love using flash. These are the two flash settings that I use when I shoot with the flash. So TTL, I use that when I'm shooting all my reception stuff, so all my on-camera work, I use TTL, and manual when I'm doing all my off-camera flash work, which it means I have more control over what I'm using. So I kind of look at TTL as like shooting on auto, and manual is having more control. Hi, Cami.
Hello, stranger.
When do I use flash on a wedding day? So these are the three reasons why I would use a flash on a wedding day. Number one, if the natural light is dull and boring and I want to create a impacting photograph. Number two, for all my night photographs. And number three, for reception photos. So they're the only times that I would really use the flash. So let's start with number one, enhancing an image with photography. So it's really important to me that when I'm using flash during the day on location, that it's only to mimic the sunlight, natural light, or ambient lighting. I don't want the flash to look like it's unnatural and obvious that the light source is coming from the flash. So I'm going to take you through some images now from sort of location to reception of when I use the flash. And if you have any questions, guys, just yell out, and I'm sure Aries will pull them up. All right.
Yep. If there's any question, guys, all the questions are welcome, and we will try to answer all the questions by the end of each slide, if possible.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to play this video, and then I'll explain this little shot after we've watched the video. It's only a little 10 seconds, I think. Awesome. So obviously with that shot, you can see that it's still daylight. I'm just going to, oh, I nearly went to, I was clicking the screen. So you can see that on the left, it's still natural light, it's still daylight. But what I was sort of aiming here for this image is that I saw the cars coming down, and it was sort of getting towards that dusk time, and they had their headlights on. And I thought, oh, that looks really cool. I want to try and make it look like that light source is coming from the car's headlights. So I got the AD300Pro, and it's on a softbox, and you would have seen there with the assistant. She was walking with them as I was getting their clients to walk. And then I just sort of stopped her there and got the pose. So it looks like a nice little romantic moment there. Like the natural light I like as well, but to be honest, if you're comparing the both, the flashlight just creates such a mood, so much romance and drama in it, that it just looks, even the sky looks really, really nice there. The headlights are coming back from the cars there, so it actually looks like they're being lit up by those headlights. And you can't tell that there's a flash there. The lighting style's coming from sort of behind them on the side, so it looks a bit like back lit shot, but it's also coming from the side. And yeah, that was sort of my idea with that image. And that's, like I said, that's during the day. And I'm just trying to sort of copy and mimic the lighting from the cars in the back there.
Yeah, I think that's quite good because, you know, with the natural lights, you can go for it delivers those romantic look, which is nice and beautiful. The problem is that the sky is overexposed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Then what do? It's beautiful sky, and it is very important to describe the feeling. It's probably on the natural side, but as well as the whole scene. Correct? When you shoot we talk about movie, right? Because you know, when you talk about movie, you have to have an establishment shot to show environment. If it's such a beautiful sunset, of course, have that be part of the album would be really nice, isn't it?
Exactly. And look, like I said, on a wedding day, I would shoot both. I would give them a natural light, because then I'm sort of serving them up with both, and then they can choose whether or not they like the natural light or the flash one. Personally, I really love the flash one. Like, there's no comparison with the two when you see them next to each other. There's more separation between them in the background with the flash. Like I said, the sky is just so much nicer in that shot. Like, you can see that natural light, you can see the sun is setting, but the sky just looks like a big piece of white blob.
I personally think, you know, for last couple of years, we all shoot natural lights, right? It's nice and beautiful and romantic. We catch lots of emotions. The thing is, everybody's using the same preset, and it's very hard to distinguish yourself from everybody else, isn't it? Like, while everybody's selling ham and cheese sandwiches over the street, then you will be struggling. But if you are the only one who's selling gelato, or I don't know, cookie and cream gelato, like which my son loves, then it will be awesome to help you distinguish from the market as well. So it brings a variety in your album, it wows your clients, and for obvious reason, you can sort of attract your future clients by those kind of wow images by using lights, isn't it?
Exactly. And you put something like this on. Hi, Kai. Key or Kai? Do I say it the right way?
It's Key. It's the king of Adelaide. It took about 10 minutes to drive from his living room to his toilet.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah.
I always think it's pronounced Kai. I don't know why, but Hey, Key, how you going? like when you're putting stuff up on Instagram, because let's face it, our brides are all bride and grooms are all Instagram people these days. When you're putting something up on Instagram to grab people's attention, I personally think that the flash shot is way more. I look to that. I gravitate towards that more than natural lighting. But yeah, that's why I love my flashes. But look, natural lighting is easy. Let's face it. Everyone can do it. But yeah, awesome.
So just another tools in your pockets, another magic in your pockets. Now you can try to wow your clients.
Okay, so here we have a location where what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make it look like the sun is coming through there and they're being backlit by the light. So this actually was done with this light, not with the AD200 or 300, but so it was shot with the speed light. So what I'm going to show you now is the natural light versus flash. And I just feel like the way it's lit up behind them, it actually creates a little bit more separation. It looks like it's the sun setting there, which was like in the middle of winter. This wedding was in the middle of winter. It was a later ceremony, and it was quite dark, and not dark, but like a really overcast Melbourne day. And yeah, I thought, I'm going to try the flash. So I had the assistant behind them, and so we got this beautiful shot of them. Got another one here. You can just see how different the image looks with the flash. And that was just with the speed light. I think back then I was using the Godox 860. But this would be much better taken with a 200 Pro. And then maybe I would have put more. Definitely would have put a color gel on this to warm it up more. But yeah, just little things like that when you're shooting weddings can just change the overall feel of an image and make it stand out a little bit more, make it pop. And these are the things that your clients really, really going to appreciate. Now I'm going to click onto the next one. Another location. So these are all sort of during the day locations on location when I'm using flashes. So this is at the Crown Casino. And here we've got, like, if I had have taken this shot just using the ambient lighting, this is what I would have got. And I don't think my client would have been too happy with that. You can't even see them. But it is important to me that when I am creating a shot like this, that I want it to look like that. I want the flash to look like it's coming from, the lighting that is around. So the lighting above. So I want it to look like it's coming from all the ambient lighting, so it has a reason for being there. So if you see this image, the flash is there, but it looks like they're being lit up by all that beautiful light around them, and that kind of gives you a romantic feel. I'll just click on here so you can see what we've got. So we've got the ambient lighting all there. We've got a flash. So this flash was the AD200Pro. It had a grid on it, and it was set up on full power, just approximately 2 meters behind them on a stand. And I didn't really have much time to do this shot because if anyone has been to Crown Casino in Melbourne and these iconic stairs, people are walking up and down them and they just don't care. So I had to really be quick, and I was so thankful that all my flash was working, all good. I pretty much took 2 shots, and this was what I got. And the client was pretty happy because it is very iconic Crown Casino spot there.
Yeah. That was really nice because number one, it looks natural. It looks like the couple is lit up by the the lights on the top right of the corner. And then number two, it's so fast, isn't it? Like lots of time people overthink about off-camera flash. They think, oh, okay, it's too hard. I'm too stressed on the wedding day. But here's the thing: have a couple of days will definitely help you to make your clients really happy and also help to nail your Instagram profile shots, right? It's kind of wow shots for the album.
Yeah, well, this particular shot was featured on the final spread of the album, and double page spread, and this is it. And it's beautiful because it features their venue, which they were getting married at Crown, so they wanted to get a couple of shots. And I think it looks great. And for something that was taken in 2 seconds, it didn't hardly took any time. That's what I love about the Godox AD200Pro is it is just so easy to quickly just go, right, stand there. I'm just going to put the flash on a stand because I normally don't shoot with an assistant. I normally have the flash on a stand all ready to go. And I make sure that before a wedding, so the day before I start setting up all my gear and stuff in the morning, in the evening before the wedding, and I make sure all my triggers are all connected, the channels are all ready so that when I do a shot like this, there's no stuffing around because you don't, like I said, if you were stuffing around in a shot like this, you probably wouldn't get an empty people are always walking up and down this Crown Casino staircase. So you got to be quick. Yeah. Here's another location. So this is.
It's funny. It's just funny. Like, you know, not so much relevant with our topic today, but you see, it's the same flash, right? Both you and Kilu's using AD200Pro. However, you guys come with completely different style of images. He will, you know, bounce off the ceiling and everything looks high key. Right, he's the high key guy, white and gold, very much like you know what you see in the Greek kind of, I don't know, Hollywood legend stories about the gods, you know, the god of, I don't know, Egypt, the kind of look, the kind of vibe. But you are on the darker side. You are the House of Cards, and you know, Blade Runner, like on the darker side, dark, moody, so beautiful, right? And it's just amazing. Everybody has different vision in a sense.
Yeah, you're so right. I love his photos as well. Like I've been watching his live streams. I've been following his work since he won the AIPP photographer of the wedding photographer of the year. And he's really creative with his stuff, like all the crazy porn and in the movies. And I love it. I think that's so creative. Like it's good to get creative like that on a wedding day.
He's like, you know, the photographer year is nothing. I was like, you know, I never had it, mate. Like
we've all been trying to do that for many years.
Yeah, man, I see.
He's
the golden boy. What can you say?
That's awesome. So here's another location too where I take the shot and I wasn't really happy with the natural lighting. I was like, this needs more power, it needs some more impacting, it needs to be more impacting. So I popped the flash behind them and I'll show you here. We've got so this is the RAW, so this is my settings. Camera settings was f4. I'm shooting on a 16 to 35 mil, and my ISO was 800. And I'm just going to go down again. So we've got the flash set up behind them with the Godox AD200Pro. It's also got a grid on it just to minimize that light spill all over. I've obviously in post, I've darkened around the sides just to make them really pop from the image. And again, I think I spoke about this with you before. What I'm trying to do here is get looks like the chandelier is what's lighting them up behind there. So whenever I'm looking to do a shot where it's daylight or I'm outside or inside, I really want to make it look like the lighting is definitely not a flash. It has to look like it's coming from somewhere. That's really important to me. So I really find for me, I really like to keep it really natural when it comes to flash. That's that shot. Let's keep going down here. All right, this is an outdoor shot, another iconic Melbourne spot that everyone goes to, the St Kilda Army Barracks. And I first took the shot, and look, normally when I go here, because I pretty much go here a lot, at least twice a month, I would just shoot natural light because it is nice. It's a nice location for natural light. But
beautiful leaves, beautiful foliages.
So nice. And it looks beautiful in autumn. Those leaves go red, so it's really pretty. But I was like, I want to experiment here because her dress and them, they look quite dramatic. And I wanted to set a little bit more mood to that image. It was a bit flat. I have shot here in natural light before, and it was a sunny day, and so the sun sets from the left-hand side. So I decided that I was going to ask the videographer if I could get him to hold the flash, and take obviously take the photo with the flash. But because I needed him to be a little bit more closer to them, I thought, I know how, with my editing skills, I know how to Photoshop him out. I'm going to put him there. And so these, on the Godox AD200Pro, he's got the soft dome on it, just to soften that light so it's not too harsh on them. And
did you have the grid?
No, I didn't. No, just the soft dome
Okay.
on there. I may have had a warm color gel on there. Actually, I did had a warm color gel on there because I was trying to make it look like it's sun setting, but they're having front lighting. So what I've created here for you guys is a really quick little video of how to edit out the assistant on a wedding day if you're doing this type of lighting style. So I'll play it for you guys and you can have a look how it's... All right, here is an image where I've got my couple standing on the stairs there, and I did take it with natural light, but I really wanted to bring in a flash just to really make the couple pop from the image. And what I'm doing here is trying to mimic sunlight. So I want it to look like the sun sort of setting, and I'm using the sun directly on their face. That's why they look a little bit more warmer in the image, because I have a warm color gel on it. So I'm going to remove the assistant on the left-hand side, and I'm going to show you how to do that really easily in Photoshop. So I'm going to bring it into Adobe Camera Raw and play around with some adjustments, just doing some simple things that I generally do to all my images to bring in the detail back into the image. Just going to crop in the right-hand side of the image just to make it a little bit more symmetrical. And then I'm going to open it up in Photoshop and remove the assistant very quickly. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy the right-hand side of the image, and then I'm going to paste it back on the image, creating a layer, and then I'm going to flip it horizontally to the left-hand side, so I can use the left-hand side of the image to remove the assistant holding the light there. So I'm going to use my paintbrush to paint away, my brush tool to get rid of the assistant there. And I'm just going to do that very quickly. And then later on, after I've done that, I'm going to go through the image and make sure I haven't made any errors and make sure that everything lines up correctly in the image. You can see how quickly this can be done as long as you have everything looking very symmetrical and naturally in the image.
That's nice. That's really nice.
I'm just going to get rid of that flash up the top there, and hopefully it blends in at the window. But if it doesn't, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to straighten it up and just make sure it aligns correctly so it doesn't look, a little bit odd or obvious that I've copied the right-hand side. Now I'm just going to crop it in just to create a little bit more symmetrical image. Okay, that's it. So it's really that easy to crop someone out. I'm just going to put up the edit. It's so easy to be able to crop someone out. And if you know you have the tools to be able to do that, you should try it. Look, I don't recommend doing every shot all day at a wedding, but if you're wanting to create a standout piece for the first page of an album or the middle page of an album, it's really easy to do. Like, a lot of people think, oh, I can't do that, but it's pretty simple. And now we have an image that looks like this rather than the natural light. Sorry, I'm just going to go back to the natural light. It's so different, isn't it? They really pop from the image. And I ended up printing this image and it looked amazing. You can even add in a little bit of sun flare as well to make it look like that there is sun flare coming into there and hitting their face. But yeah, you can play around heaps, and I don't often do that style of lighting where I light them from the front, because obviously you can see a lot of my style from the back. But I actually really like this if it makes sense, like sun setting and it's hitting their face, and and they look like they're popping out from the background. I really like it.
Yeah, it's I think the natural light is beautiful too. To be honest, it's such a nice location. The thing is, everybody shoots there like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing with natural light is everybody shoots the same, and at the end of the day, because if you let's say I'm Sydney, there are only 50 locations to go to, and you shoot in a couple of popular locations like several times a year, and when you look back at your work, every time it's the same. You have to make sure yourself to be creative and happy with every single photo shoots you do, right? To at least come up with a different shots. Then I think Flash will be great challenge or fun. You place towards yourself. Like go have fun with it. I mean, it's work. It gets, as a professional wedding photographer, we get paid by our clients. We always place our clients' needs ahead of us, but it's nice to do a couple of Flash images to wow your clients, make them really happy, and make yourself really happy too, isn't it?
That's right. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I think throughout a wedding day, you should really do something for you. I'm really firm believer in that. You should do something for you, because when you're doing it for you, it's your style. It's you. It's who you are. And then when you start to post those images that are for you, you start to get booked because of you, and then you can start to be real you. It's really simple to think that way, but
Actually,
and a lot of us photographers, and I'm sure I've done the same. We often go through other people's work, and we thought, oh, that looks really good. I'm going to try and do that, but then it's not you, and then you're not being true to what you believe in your work. And so, just doing something like a bit different for you on the day, you'll start to really develop your style. And at the end of the day, when you've got your own style, you're going to get more work, because if you're copying other people's work or doing similar work to others, then how are you going to sell your work when they can just go down the road and get it for cheaper?
exactly. So it's almost like it kind of, if you do that for long, I mean, it will quickly you copy someone or mimic someone. That's fine to start with, but in long run, down the road, if you've been a professional photographer for years and that's all you do, then it sort of would hurt your creativity in terms of longevity, isn't it?
That's right. I'm a firm believer in that. I mean, and I definitely did use the round head. Yep, the round head's always on my AD200Pro.
The advantage with round head is it comes with a AKR1 kit. It's pretty cheap. I think you can, I don't know, it depends on your currency, but in Australia, I think we get it at 70, 80 bucks. It comes with a dome, it comes with a grid, it comes with a color gel. It comes with pretty much all you need on the wedding day. It pretty much covers them all. So round head will be a way easier. And AKR1 is also compatible with the V1. So, your accessory kit actually is compatible with all your round head Godox, like not only AD200Pro, but also V1. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah. And that AKR1 kit is like the best kit ever. Like, and it's so inexpensive, but it will change the feel of your flash. Like, it's the best little thing. I'm actually pretty angry at myself, because every time I shoot a wedding, I lose pieces from it. When you're like, trying to get a shot and it falls off, and I lose pieces, so I need to buy another one, because I love that kit. It's like I cannot live without it, especially the grid. The grid is the best.
Yeah, I think that's so good with it. Even you lose it per se, and it's not that expensive to replace it.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Well,
Kemi was asking, Kemi asking exactly the same question I was asking. How did you persuade the videographer to hold your lights? I was like,
he is the nicest videographer ever. So I think, me and Nikki did a workshop on this, like on the 2 days ago. Like, I think it's really important that you have a really good working relationship with your videographer on the day, because it's going to make your life so much easier. Like, I just said to him, do you mind holding it? He was like, yeah, of course. And like, I'll do something for him. And yeah, so I just think try and make friends with your videographer instead of enemies, because it'll work in your favor in the long run. But yeah, he's really tall as well, that videographer. So I was like, yeah, you just hold it up. He didn't even have to go on his tippy toes or anything.
The worst story I had was there was a guy holding 14 millimeters ultra wide angle lens right in front of the couple's face during the location. That was fine, and in the reception. So yeah, I know, one of those days.
That's such a bad angle. Don't worry, I have had my fair share of bad videographers too. No,
we all have that. We all have that story. So nice relationship with your try to make a great friends with your videographer. Communication, I guess that's the key.
Communication is the key, definitely. I mean, sometimes it's not going to happen, but yeah. Do you use mag mod accessories? Someone like, no, I don't. I just use the Godox stuff because it's cheap and it's easy and it works. It fits straight on. It's always Godox.
Yeah, I mean, mag mode is compatible too. You just have a choice, right? Yeah. You just choose whatever works for you.
But if you're using AD200Pro and you're using the AKR kit, like, it literally magnets on straight away, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah. I personally used the mag mode a couple of years ago. Back then, it was great kit. The only problem is comparing with AKR1, it's on the expensive side. It's more expensive to replace if you lose anything. Other thing is because it's magnetic. It's kind of because it's designed to fit both square head and round head. It's kind of bulky, so it takes a bit extra space in your bag. And after a while, I just got lazy, and I thought I thought AKR1. It's the same result. It's cheaper. It's on the cheaper end. I'll just go with AKR1. But it's just me personally, though, personal choice. And yes, you can use mag mode if you want.
Yeah, if you already have one, then definitely use it.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Now, this is natural light, guys. So I went to this location. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity as a photographer where you get this beautiful natural light that actually looks like I'm backlighting them with flash, and it's raining. It was daylight, and I was just like, this is just like literally a once in a lifetime thing. I've not had this before in my life as a photographer. And so I went back to this location, like, I don't know, last year, and this is the same location using natural light, and it was raining too, but there was just no sun. And I was like remembering that shot that I took like years beforehand, and I was like, I know how I could create that shot again with using a flash. This is where it goes to my whole thing with no limitations on a wedding day, because I took this and I was like, how can I really want it to look like that? Like, it's limiting me with this right now. So I got my AD200Pro, and I was able to get
nice.
So I was like, I love that natural light shot. It's something that I always remember, that photograph. But I thought I'll never get it again. And it did rain at the same location. But yeah, so we used power, so we could light up all the rain there. It's got the grid on as well. And yeah, I love it. And the couple love that shot.
So there's no dome, just grid, isn't it?
Just grid, yeah.
Why use grid in this case?
Well, when I was first starting to use this stuff, I think you taught me actually that the grid is what minimizes the light from spreading everywhere. Is that right?
Yes. I don't know. We talked a lot. I don't remember. And especially
I think because I want it with the dome, it's a bit more softer, and I wanted it to be a little bit more harsher because I want that rain to come out as much as I can. Like, because if you look at that image now, it looks like it's really, really, really raining. But like, if you look at the natural light, that's the same. It's the same thing. It was just like literally 30 seconds later, I put the flash behind them. So it doesn't look like it's raining there. But then if you look at that, yeah, I think I wanted to not to be as soft, which is why.
So all we were doing there is actually mimicking the sun shining on the rings, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in real world, the problem is that what sort of chances would you have? There is a sunshine while it's raining.
Yeah.
During that 15 minutes window of your location photo shoot.
That's why when I fish, and
you have to pray, and the God needs to listen to you in a sense to have that chance and all. Yeah.
You don't know how much when I took this shot with its natural light, I was like, thank you, Mother Nature. I was like, I was crying because it was one of those moments where I was just like, I can't believe this is happening right now. And like the light was reflecting on her dress, which was reflecting back onto his face, which literally looks like a flash moment. And then with the rain, like the rain wasn't as full on as it is in the last shot, but that's mainly because it's still daylight. So there's still, like, obviously it's really bright. You couldn't capture that as much. But yeah, so back to that location and and it happened, I was like, it's just not the same. I really need to add in that light. So yeah, I got that shot, and everyone loves a raining shot. It looks so romantic. It reminds me of like
it is beautiful.
The Notebook when they're kissing out in the rain. I love that movie. So romantic. So this is them too. This is natural light at the same location, and just using. Actually, I think maybe in this shot the flash didn't go off. So I was too quick. And then this is with the flash, and how different does the image look? Like it's like a completely different image. You can't even compare the natural light versus flash. So if I didn't have the flash knowledge to do this, which is the same settings, I've got the AD200Pro on there. If I didn't have the knowledge to use flash, I would never get a photo that looks like this, would I? It would look like this.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, here's a video. So I'll. Alrighty. There's a question that's come through. Should we answer that before we go to this one? Because I think they're asking about the flash. So I have it on high speed sync because I'm using a 1.2 for those shots. So 1.4. So I would have had it pretty high. I can't remember exactly, but I would have had my shutter up high, which means that I would have been able to capture more of the rain in the shot. Probably over 500, maybe even over 1,000. But it was a dark location too, so that's why I had to use the 1.4. It's very dark, that location, because there's a lot of trees. So just going back to that image, there you can see it. That was right. Yeah, you'd use a really high shutter speed for that sort of shot. Going back to this one, so this was what I'm trying to do here is you can see in the video that the sun was setting, but it was quite dark. So this is my final edit. And what I'm trying to do here is trying to make it look like the sun is setting, because I was sort of walking back and I was like, oh, these gates are really nice, but it's too dark now because we've just done our sunset shots and I can't capture a nice sunset shot in the gate. So I was like, oh, hold on a minute, assistant. Can you pop on so for this, I have the AD300Pro with the softbox, which I probably wouldn't normally have, but that's what they had on them at the time because I was doing that shot where they were walking, where I got with the headlights. So I was like, we'll just try it with that. And so, yeah, it looks good, and I've warmed it up a bit in Photoshop to make it look really warm. Yeah. And it looks like the sun's setting there, and it's a nice romantic shot in front of the the gates there at the reception.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful, and it almost mimics the sunset, isn't it? Like, what's great, even you miss it, you can still flash it.
Yeah, like if you have a look at the natural light shot, like that is the natural light shot at the bottom there. Compared to that, it's a huge difference. Like,
it's a huge difference, right? Yeah. Sun's coming back, kissing on the gates as well. Lit her hair up because her hair is dark, so it has this nice separation between her and the dark forest, which is the background. Otherwise, the couple would just blend into the dark background as well.
Yeah,
which is nice. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, you use the 8300 because but it's a great idea because it's wedding day and we are in a rush and we are under lots of, let's say, pressure. Let's just use whatever makes to us. And what's so good with 300 Pro? It's 300 watts. You have, even with softbox and RAID or whatever accessory you have, it still delivers enough power, right?
Yeah.
For you to.
The AD300Pro is actually quite light, isn't it? When you take the softbox on off and stuff, it's actually very small, can fit in your bag really, really easily. So
very much similar to the size of my iPhone, isn't it? Like, I'm using iPhone Max. I just want to show off my phone. That's all. Yeah.
Mary's got that 12-year-old jealous of you now.
Yeah.
Funny. But so there are a couple of examples of when I would use flash during the day, so on location. Now I'm going to take you through some night stuff with you guys and what I look for when I'm shooting my night photography shots, because probably for me the night photos is where I started incorporating off-camera flash into my work. And then once I started getting confident in knowing how to use flash and where to use it, then I started using flash on my locations. So what do I look for when I'm setting up my night photographs? Well, one big thing I always look for, which you'll always see at a reception, is fairy lights. They're always there, the festoon lighting, so you always find them somewhere. But if you don't, there's always other things you can find. So what I've done here is I've set up my couple, and behind them on a stand is the Godox AD200Pro as well. This is just ambient lighting shooting now. So I'm exposing for the fairy lights. And if I didn't have a flash knowledge, this is what I would get. It's not bad, it's okay, but this is what I got with the flash, which just completely changes it, doesn't it? Like, it really stands out, and it's such a better shot than using the natural light. And it was literally, again, these shots, guys, for your wedding photography work is like, they probably take like 2 minutes to do. And that's really important that you do get these done quickly, because you're asking your couple to leave their reception where they're having drinks and playing with their friends, dancing with their friends, catching up with their friends. So you really only have maybe like 10 minutes max, because you don't want to pull them away. So these, like I said, these shots take 2 seconds to do, really quick. And I don't try to be overly crazy with my posing for these shots. I tend to do the same sort of posing because it's easy. A couple standing there hugging at each other, looking at each other in the night. It's romantic.
I think yes, because end of the day, it's not a movie production scene, right? It's their wedding day. You do want them to have an enjoyable and experience, right? You want to wow them, but you still want them to have a good time.
That's right.
That's why it's important to be fast, and it's very important. I like the way not over pose your couple, correct?
No, that's right. No.
Yeah. So it's a nice wedding day. It's beautiful. Let them be who they are. Just make them the brightest spots of the image, because the flash actually kills, overpower the chandelier on the top, and the hair is on the highlights, which is beautiful. Nicely, I quite like the framing too. The highlights actually framing right. in the center of the image, and there's a nice little chapel behind it, right? Nothing cutting off their head, which is it's beautiful.
My OCD is kicking in a little bit. I would have pushed them to the right a little bit more. But like doing these shots, honestly, you don't really have much time. Got to be. And what I love about using these flashes is that they work every single time. Like before, when I started using flash and not using Godox, and I'm not saying this, but I always used to fumble around with my flashes, and they were waiting for me, and like I was getting really stressed and like panicked at the wedding because I was like, oh my god, it's not working. Like, so that's why it's really important to me now that I do set these up before, like even if I'm at the reception and I know I'm about to do a night shot, I will quickly test it all and make sure the trick's working and like everything's going to go off, because you do not want to get your couple out there and make them sit around for 10-15 minutes while you're trying to sort out your flash. They won't be happy with you at all.
I think it's a great point. And let's talk about exposure, because there was a nice question about the shutter speed earlier. I think by there's a, if we can go back to the previous image, that'd be wonderful, like the one with natural light. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like, guys, if you look at this image, you have to, as natural. Let's think about this. If we don't have any flash or artificial, so we have the decision here. The light above, if we increase the exposure, number one, will get dirty because you're bumping up. You're probably bumping ISO way up. Number two, will get overexposed, right? You will have overexposed overhead lights. But with a light currently like this, their face will be underexposed because we're exposed for the highlights. So in a sense, with a flash, then you have a lot of wiggle zone. You can expose, the ambient whatever you like. If you want a high key, or if you want a low key, to keep all the highlight details, you can do. And once you have exposure sits in place, you're just adding a flash. That's how easy it is. And out of curiosity, Ash, how did you determine what sort of power output for your flash in this particular type of image?
You know what? Whenever I'm doing these backlit shots, I always start on full power because I need a lot of light to come through, because I want to also get enough light that's going to light their faces as well. And you can see that when I do the backlit, a lot of people ask me when I do the backlit shots, did you have a light at the front? Because they look like they're being well lit at the front as well. I don't have a light at the front. I just make sure that my flash is on a full power, and then it's enough power for them to get there to bounce off the shirt and the dress, and it lights the face up, so it like illuminates their face. If I find when I take the shot it's too strong, I'll just like use my trigger to put it down like by half power or quarter power. But usually it's about half power full power, because I really want to light up the scene. Like I really want that scene to be lit up really nicely there. And you can see, like, if you go back to natural light, like you can't see the detail in the background. With the flash, you can see all that detail, the trees, you can see enough detail to go back there that, I want to be able, one of my signature thing is, and it's probably the same with a lot of photographers, is that I want this shot to be the final spread. So I want to make sure this is exposed correctly and lit correctly, so that when they do print it on a 12 by 24 inch, it doesn't look like all noisy and disgusting. And imagine if I had printed that as a 24 by 12 inch on a full page, and it wouldn't look nice. So.
And you wouldn't see all the trees and all the shadow details. It's with a flash image, it almost tells you the context, right? It's a beautiful venue among the trees in the woods, And if you shoot by natural light, you wouldn't be able to do so, right?
No.
And by flash, it's almost, I love the way you're using flash, because it's almost like the flash is bouncing off their shirts and they become a light source, a softer light source. The bounce lights is over, the trees above, and you can sort of see that subtly all the tree and the foliage in the background too. It's just all the bounced off night. Was it's just nice.
Yeah, it's good. And again, like the fairy lights, they could be the light source. That could be what I'm going for there. Well, that's what I'm definitely going for. The light source is coming from the fairy light. So it makes sense. The image does make sense because there's light in the image, there's ambient light in the image, and you've got your backflash, so it makes sense. But yeah. Awesome. Okay, here's another similar shot. I shot this the other day at our workshop. So it's the festoon lighting above backlit, and I want to show you guys because these are my new favorite things ever. Aries, I love them. These Godox LCR 500, so LC 500R light sticks are so cool. They create such a different mood to the image. So in this shot, we've got the Godox 200Pro with the barn doors. So I've put the barn doors and the grid on this one, just so that I can get the light towards them a little bit more. And I've created those two sticks there to create something different, because I thought without it was a little bit, and it's not overly powered there. If you see the image, it's just like subtle. It kind of creates something different, because I felt like that scene, it didn't have much in the background. So creating like something a bit different in the image makes it a bit more exciting. And then there's the R1 under the dress, just so I can get like her dress lit up a little bit more as well. I thought that was really cool did we lose the screen? Have we lost the screen? There it is. Yeah.
So no. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong button. That's all.
No worries. But yeah, so those little things are so much fun, and everybody at the workshop was like, "Oh my god, we have to get one of those," especially the videographers as well, because they're like, "That's really cool." But yeah, they're lots of fun to play with those. Night shots, so night bridal party shots. Don't be afraid to do night bridal party shots as well. Like they're lots of fun to do. Like you can do something cool, take them into a nice location, and put the lighting on the background there. And you've got also the lighting from above too, and that kind of looks good. We've spoken about this one too, which is the festoon lighting as well. So festoon lighting is definitely something that's really important to me when it comes to the night photos, because they do give that appeal that it is the lighting from up there. What else have we got here? Even chucking some coloured smoke or some smoke into the image, and that will create even something more exciting, which I love. Do you use coloured smoke, Aries, in your photos? The coloured smoke? Here's another one now.
I do from time to time, but they are expensive. Usually, if the clients purchase it, otherwise, because for last year, it was kind of funny. Number one, we don't have that many weddings to shoot at. Number two, when it gets too hot, New South Wales has the fire ban, like forbidden people to lit up color smoke. Lots of venue says you cannot use any smoke at all to cause any confusion. That's where we wouldn't be able to use it. But whenever I have a chance, I love smoke. Yeah.
Same. Like Aries said, they are quite expensive if you started buying them for every couple, because once you post something like this on Instagram, the couple's like, "Oh my god, I want that." So you just direct them to the coloured smoke thing, and they can purchase it themselves, and they get really excited by that image as well, like those images. But yeah, this couple brought a few of them different colours, so it worked out well. And that's literally just a light behind them as well. And you can see also festoon lighting there, but there's also like the venue too that could be part of what is lighting them up in that image. And that, again, that's an older image too. That's a speed light. So we use a speed light in that one. This is AD200Pro as well. And you can see, I love rain. I love when it rains on a wedding day, don't you?
Yeah, it's just every time people just love
That
it. People just love it. It's always gonna be an album cover or double spread sort of page.
I know. It's so
Yeah.
romantic.
I was shooting. Yeah, I was shooting a family session the other day. The parents were like, we want this ring couple shots. Can we do that on a
Oh,
separate day? I would say, yeah.
that's awesome. So they
Yeah.
actually came out
Except that
a
I
lot.
can't control the weather.
I know. But I mean, yeah, well, you guys get more warmer weather than us in Melbourne, don't you? Like your weather's pretty
Yeah,
consistent.
it's
Us.
it's warmer here. Yeah, and yeah.
You need to come and move to Melbourne for rain. It rains on every wedding day.
Oh no,
Yeah, I
no.
know.
Yeah.
So this is AD200Pro as well. So this venue didn't have any festoon lighting and didn't have any real like sort of magical lighting that I could use. So instead of like not doing the photo, because I'm going to always do a night shot, I'm sort of this one. I'm like, oh well, you've got the ambient lighting coming from the venue, and they also like. I mean, it's their venue, so it's nice to get a shot of their venue anyway. And so that was a shot to using their venue, and that was AD200Pro. I think Grid was on that definitely. And yeah, and then obviously no ambient, like no fairy lights at this venue too. But I thought, oh look, it looks nice with the trees coming up there. You've got a little light on the side there. And so normally when I'm doing all my night shots, it's always backlit shots, and couples love them.
I think it gives a great option because on the wedding day, it's built around their schedule, obviously, right? Because sometimes you just don't have enough time for location shots. Sometimes there's a beautiful location carries so much meaning to them, and oh god, you just want to help. You just want to help out, but we simply don't have time before sunset, especially in the winter. Sunsets at 5 or 4:30 ish.
Yeah,
Then it's already dark.
I know.
Then I guess during the reception, sneak out, do a night shot will make the couple really happy. And
Oh,
flash in this case obviously helps a lot.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And like I was
Yeah.
saying to one of my workshop people the other day, I was like, I don't often use flash during the day because it's just easier to use natural light. But there are maybe a handful of weddings and inquiries that you get every year where it's like it's in winter and their ceremony's at 4:35 p.m. And by the time they walk out of their ceremony, it's dark, or heading towards dark. So you have very limited time. And I am grateful and thankful to myself that I do have that flash, that knowledge to use the flash because it saves me in situations like that. Or what about if the ceremony was supposed to start at 4 but things ran late and then by the time and then you didn't know how to take photos with a flash, then what would you do for your couple if you can't get any photos for them? And like even just knowing small little things when it comes to using flash during the day will really save you in those situations because let's face it, weddings do run late all the time. And someone's written a question and it's just made me lost my train of thought.
Yep.
Michael. But yeah, you lost
So Michael has a question here. Do you ever do a backlit shot where you have to add a little fill light from the front?
Never.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, that's why I tend to try and go full power because then I'm in a really strong outburst of light, and then hopefully the flash will bounce off. You can see the flash is bouncing off the shirt and sort of hitting their face, even if it's the slightest bit. It really you just don't need to have just trying to find another one. You can see it their faces. Look it up. That's definitely a question that I get asked a lot because people think that you need to have two flashes, one on their face and one behind there. And I have tried that before, and I'm pretty certain the front flash cancels out the back flash. Is that right? Like if you back, it
I
won't.
don't know. It depends.
Maybe it was just me because like I said, I'm not a typical person, but I do like to try things from time to time. And how far back is the light? Always like.
Let's finish this question first. I think it depends on Michael. I think you are more than welcome to give a go and try the fill lights in the front. It's just Ashley's formula. Everybody use lights differently. It's just everybody creates differently. That's what makes us, each one of us, an individual artist ourselves. Under wedding contexts, I think another reason will be the time pressure, right? Obviously, for Ash's case, lots of couple only have 10 minutes between drinking or dancing or partying to come out and have a very quick shots or 2 shots or 3 shots. Obviously, 1 light will be way faster than 2 lights, and that will be another advantage of 1 light on the full power. But as I've said, it's just her recipe. You are more than welcome to try her recipe and try something out yourself.
Have you done flash from the behind and the front before?
I do sometimes.
Okay,
but on wedding day, rarely, because for obvious reason, right? You want to make sure you are on schedule. So but in my pre-wedding or elopement session, yes, I play around more.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably seeing a pattern here of my night shots being quite wide shots. So with front flash as well, you'd have to have it pretty far back, wouldn't you, to be able to not, unless you want to start to edit out like I did before, which is you can do, but like on a wedding day, you want to make life easier. But yeah, because my shots are really wide as well. If I put a front flash there, then I'd have to, because you'd have to have it sort of a bit closer to them, because you wouldn't want to light up too much of the scene. For me, I don't want to light up too much of the scene, and I think to me, I gravitate more towards the backlit because it feels a little bit more. For me, it just feels a little bit more natural in that setting. And then also with my editing techniques as well, I prefer backlit too.
Like it's a fish. You can cook it as sashimi, or you can cook it as spicy or part of your fish pasta, whatever way you like, right?
I love how you give that. I love your analogy.
But as long as you flash the image, make the image properly exposed, you have all the details in your couple, in your tree, and all the details you want. Then it's a matter of how you cook it.
That's right.
In the post-production,
Another example of just back flashing, but like obviously no fairy lights, but you could use something like a church or a chapel or something to make it look like that light is coming from there as well. And you can see obviously they're very warm and it's matching the background there. So that's another example of what you could use flash. So whenever you're doing night shots, always keep in mind when you're going outside to look for a location for it that this is my technique. Look for fairy lights or ambient lighting or something that's going to make sense in the image. But yeah.
Michael Chen has a question like, how far back is the light?
So like when I first started doing these shots, I always used to put the light really close to them, and I was like, oh yeah, that's all right, whatever. But then I started putting it behind them more, and I realized that it's so much better to have the flash around 2 meters behind them to light up like the dress as well, because I was only lighting up their bodies and not the end of the dress or not the top of their thing. So about 2 meters behind them
will be the sweet spot.
Yeah. Yes. Here's another shot.
Oh, nice.
Before and after. Like, so even when you don't have anything to use at a reception and you're like struggling to find something, you can use like a building with ambient lighting, and you can change the you can change. Hold on, I'm just trying to see if I can get rid of. I'm just going to put this up higher. Sorry, I want to make this bigger. This one. Sorry. Oh no, I can't. Oh yeah, I can. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Bear with me. Just want to make it
No
bigger.
worries. Take your time. Oh, nice reflection.
If you guys can see that. So what I've done here is I've copied the other side. And you can create really nice images at nighttime if you have those skills to do something like flip the image. Like it's the same process as what I showed you guys before with the getting rid of the assistant. But like you can see here before and after, the left side of the image, like that's pretty crappy in my opinion. So I was like, okay, I know what I can do here to create an impacting photograph. I'm just going to set it up, and the couple were like, I wonder what she's doing. But then I flipped the image and then making sure that I changed some things on the left side so it looks a little bit different to the right side. But they're the little things that you can do at night time if you struggle not to find something to use. Awesome. So I'm scrolling.
So Michael has a question like, do you usually use a grid and dome for your backlit shot?
I usually use the grid or the barn doors because I feel like the dome really softens the light, and in the backlit shot, I want it more stronger, if that makes sense. The dome I would use when I'm doing the front flashing, like face flashes, yeah, to soften that light on their face. But yeah, with backlit shots, that's a mouthful to say that one. I use the grid and the bar door. I can't ever say it. I always stuff it up. Backlit.
I feel
yeah, backlit. It doesn't roll off the tongue good, that one. Yeah, and then I also like to use from that kit too the warm color gel. I love the warm color gels. And
do you
also,
use full CTO or half CTO? Do you remember?
I use, I think I had it right here. It's the full one.
It's a full one. Okay.
Yeah.
No, just really thought people might like audience like Michael, they might be interested to know. That's all. Yep.
Especially like when I'm doing those ones where I want it to look like I want it to match the ambient lighting. So obviously in this shot, you see that's quite warm. So I will put the warm color gel on it just so it matches. And that really helps later on in post, doesn't it? When you can't be bothered matching them to the background.
It's going to be a nightmare. Mix lights with different white balance. Then, it takes ages to.
Now reception. So we're on the home stretch here. So the reception, I love the reception. People sort of get to the reception and they're like, oh, we're nearly done, and that's good. But I love the reception because, like, one thing that I find that's really important is that you make sure, if you have the time, and if you don't have the time, you should make the time to get a shot with the bride and groom at the reception with the setup before the guests enter, because they tend to spend a lot of money on their decoration, room setup. So I reckon it's important to, before the guests start arriving, just quickly grab them for 10 minutes and get a couple of nice shots of them in the room. And I'll give you some examples. I'll play this video right now. All right, so we're at the reception now, and I've just found a gorgeous location for them to do photos with these beautiful candles. Originally, I did take this image using flash, but I wasn't vibing the look of the flash. So I decided I'm going to use the feature of the modeling lights on the flashes, which is the AD200Pro. You can see I've got two set up there. And I've also got the AD300Pro with the softbox, and that's just on the bride so that we can really soften her face in the image with the lighting. And this is a great feature to use if you're just wanting subtle light in the image and you're not wanting a full powerful flash look. And so, yeah, you can use this function for something different as well. And I really love the overall finish of this image using just the modeling lights there.
Oh, it's nice. It's so beautiful.
So like,
Yeah, for you guys who hasn't got an AD300 Pro before, just be mindful. AD300 Pro has a good, bright modern light at 12 watts, and the best part is you can change the white balance between 3000K, which is yellow color full CTO, to 6000K, which is daylight color. So it gives you lots of wiggle zone in the reception. If you want to color match, use the modeling light to color match with the ambient, and you don't have time to put on any gel and so on and so forth, then you can adjust the white balance with the lights itself. It's just so easy to use around. So
I love that. I love those features because like I said, I did try to do this with the flashes, and I just was like, oh, I don't really, because it's too strong. And I'm just going to try it with this because I really wanted that soft lighting. And yeah, I think it worked out better, to be honest. And that's a good feature. If you've got it, use it. Yeah, as an example there. This was the flash. So it's a little bit harsh and softness. But yeah, I just had the two AD200 Pros, but then I ended up adding in the 300 to really make it a bit more softer. And then I asked my bride to turn her face into that softbox light, the AD300, and it really softened her face there. Oh, here we go. All right, another little video. So this is all reception setting up before the guests coming in. Oh, why isn't that playing? It's saying no play. All right, well, I don't know why that's not working. Basically, it's just me. You can see that I'm standing up really high on a barrel there, and then the flash is behind them, and I think I've got an assistant holding the flash there, so she's as far back as she can to those barrels just to backlight them there, and I'll grab the shot. So here, it's another example of, could be the candles lighting them up, could be the fairy lights above them lighting them up, or it could be the barrels because they're all lit up as well. It's a nice sort of.
I like the bokeh in the foreground. It's so nice. Yeah, what lens did you use?
I have on here a 24 by 70, 2.8.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would have thought it's a prime lens. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no. Because I have the only prime that I have in the Panasonic is the 50 and the 35 Sigma, but it's not wide enough. I wanted a little bit more wider because obviously it's a nice wide shot.
So the reflection
from the candles as well, it's really pretty.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I like how it's really warm, the image.
Yeah.
It's just a little close up. So yeah, so here I've got it on half power, mainly because their assistant is like right there behind them, and I didn't want it to be, because there wasn't enough room between them. And you could, if you wanted to and you didn't have an assistant, you could probably just put the flash in the barrel there as well, like sitting in the barrel. But yeah, it's a nice romantic shot. And then you've got like in the doorway, so you're featuring the back of the venue as well, or you're featuring the venue, but like they're in the doorway there. And that's just the same. That's on a stand with the AD200 as well, and the grid as well. Oh, my favorite things. I love these. These are so, like I said, they're so much fun. They're so much fun. Of course, I couldn't. This is a wide shot, and because we had like a lot of people taking the photograph, it was at the workshop. We could only really get a tight shot in the end.
Oh, nice.
But it's still, I love it. I love the colors. It's just really interesting, isn't it? And that's only, I think at the back they've got Nikki set that up because she's obviously the videographer, so she wanted a little bit more light coming from behind. But that's the LCD panel. Do you know what that's like, the square panel thing? So that's just an LCD light. There's no flash in that.
A 1,000 watts.
Yeah, which is really cool, especially like if you're like doing like first dance shot and stuff. Like we played around with it. That's that one, which I think's cool. Those lights are so awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Guys, it's called Godox 1000D. I think it's the second generation. 1000D. Yeah.
But the light sticks as well, like obviously Nikki only got those light sticks when we were in lockdown, so we haven't been able to use them at a real wedding yet. But we're in Melbourne because we've opened up and stuff now. So I'm gonna use those lights at every wedding because I think they're cool and everyone loves them. So another like example of a nice shot of the room of the reception setup before the client's guests come in, and that's again backlit and exposed for all the ambient lighting around there, which is a pretty grand venue. I think we've done a few APRA events there. You would probably remember. Some more examples too of the backlit shots of the reception. Here's another one.
But you make sure nobody else, you make sure while it's empty, right, before the guests entering. Because, once the guests enter, they just naturally come over and congrats the couple. You look like idiots to stop them doing that. And if people keep on coming, you just don't have time to take your shots. Guys, so if you like this kind of reception shots, just make sure you take your couple go into the reception a couple minutes before the guests, so the couple can have their soaking the moment without distraction, and you can take nice couple minutes to take empty venue, which the couple pays for the flower and the food and all the decoration, and they will appreciate that. Yeah.
And because I'm like an OCD person as well, like my preference when doing these type of shots is there's two massive tips that I'd like to give. And in this situation, the bride wanted to keep her veil on, but I would suggest taking veils off for these shots, because what happens is the backlight really lights up the veil, and so you get that really And to me, that like it really annoys me when that happens, because like obviously you're drawn straight to that hot spot there. But if that wasn't on, it would be more balanced. But sometimes you got to do what your client. Well, all the time you got to do what your client wants. And if they don't want the veil on, if they want the veil on, you got to leave it. So that's like a big tip. And my other tip is too, and you'll probably say these two areas, is that when you're like looking at your couple from this angle, make sure your bride's hair is not there, because when the flash goes on, it's going to light up the hair, and then you're going to
have it's going to like a light soba cutting through her face.
And that's so make sure if she's wearing her hair down the bride, just put their hair back to the side and make sure that you can see her profile with no hair. That's like two big tips that I'd like to give, because whenever I do that, and sometimes you just do it because we're in a rush and just whatever. But that's like my favorite tip.
That's great tips. That's great tips.
Awesome. Well, I won't show that because we've done that before. I just wanted to show first dance setup. So if you ever do a first dance too, I think I explained this in our last talk that we did, and I'll just quickly show you, is that I usually try and get them to do the shot before they start dancing. So it's like a mock dance, but still with all the guests around looking. But it just means that, because it's really hard to get a nice shot when they're dancing and swaying. Just make sure that just get a quick shot, say just before.
But how did you that's something I'm curious. How did you stop them? Like, did you tell them beforehand, like after cake cutting, maybe they just stop really quick?
Yeah, so usually I communicate with the DJ, and so the DJ will be like, okay, we're going to do the first dance. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a couple that when they do the first dance, go onto the dance floor and stay in the dancing position for literally 30 seconds, maybe less, and I'll just quickly take the shot, and then the DJ's watching me, and then I turn around to the DJ or the band and I just give him the thumbs up. Yep, you can start the music, and then got your shot. Because these shots are really hard to get as a first dance when you're moving around, aren't they? And you get so annoyed, and then you can just go straight back into on-camera flash, which is what I do, getting all my safe shots. Because you don't want to miss the shot. Like, it's an important shot for your bride and groom. It's their first dance. So
that's correct.
Get your creative and then get your safe shots. And that's because for melodies, you can't make them redo that. And then I was just going to show you guys, this is like the wrap up. On camera flash, so I'm using my V1, and I like to keep it all consistent so that when later on I'm doing a wedding album, it looks all consistent. This is on camera flash, and I have the dome on there, so it's more softer light. It's not so harsh. And that's what I shoot all my receptions with, like all the formalities, all the stuff that I cannot control. I use my Godox V1 because it's too risky. I mean, me and Aries did it once with like the speeches, which are up here, but you need like someone that has a really, really good knowledge, like Aries, of where light has to go. And you can see like Aries is like with the flash there, but it's you have to have an assistant or someone that really knows what they're doing. Otherwise, it's just easier to keep on-camera flash work with formalities because you don't know how quick things are going to be, and then I was just thought I'll show you some on-camera flash work. So just nice, simple, easy, clean light. Usually with the the dome.
Do you bounce off the ceiling?
Bounce off the ceiling, yeah, definitely. This one, no, because not this one, because this venue's very dark. All the venue, the
ceilings are dark.
Yeah. So I think for this one I've got my flash pointed towards them. But with the soft dome, it really softens that light too. Like you can see in areas of the bride there, like she might be a little bit brighter, but this is a fun shot. Like she stands out a lot in the shot. She's like her boobs about to come out, and the bridesmaids are fighting for the bridesmaids are fighting for the bouquet. You can see that there's another girl on the ground there. She's trying to get that bouquet, and she really wants. Oh my God. But yeah, so that's like my process with flash on a wedding day. Pretty simple. Like, love using flash. It's fun.
Thank you so much, Ash. It was very helpful. So guys, today Ash just walked you guys through her formula, all the way between location, ceremony, and reception, right? We have some front lights. We showed you a difference between natural lights and backflash, and more importantly, she shared lots of tricks, right? With how to nail the perfect first dance, how to nail, the perfect reception shot before everybody else enters, right? Which the couple paid for. I hope you guys enjoy the talk, and if there's any topic you guys like to us to feature in the future, or like Ash to feature in the future, drop your comments below, and we would love to answer your queries in the future talks. And for now, you guys can follow her Instagram through her name, which is Ashley K, wedding photographer, right? You can follow more of her work on Instagram. She did a successful workshop, if I did not make a mistake, wedding workshop in Melbourne, I think this week, which was full. So sooner she's going to open another wedding workshop. When would that be? Can you share a bit more details with us?
So we're working on it at the moment. So in the new year, we're thinking probably after like March, because crazy wedding season, like obviously we've all had postponement. So we're thinking maybe April. So stay tuned. To, have some fun.
Cool. And so guys, follow her Instagram for more of her work and her future workshop. And thank you, Ash.
Thank you, Aries. Thanks for having
All
me
right.
again.
Have a good weekend, guys. Talk
See you
soon. Bye.